And we are back, and we just finished 1947's Black Narcissus. This is rated approved with a runtime of 1 hour and 41 minutes. Welcome back to the Friday Family Film Night podcast. And before we jump in, I want to remind everyone to please like, share, and follow. According to the IMDb blurb, Anglican nuns fight temptation, low morale, and cold at a Himalayan mission. This comes to us from directors Michael Powell and Emeric Pressburger and is based off a novel by Rumer Godden. We're going to pair this with the Made in England documentary that focuses a lot on Michael Powell and wanted to come back to one of the Archer's productions. This is my favorite, although I think ratings-wise, people seem to give higher ratings to the Red Shoes, but that's just them. We're going to focus on this. This is going to post on Good Friday. And I'm here for crazy nun stories. I'm going to start with you. What did you think of the film?
I like this movie. We've seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just interesting. It's beautifully shot.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, to me, this felt like the most, I guess, technically advanced thing that they did. I mean, the only thing I have to compare it with is the Red Shoes.
Which you're not a fan of.
I don't like the Red Shoes at all. It's a stupid story. This one's good, and seriously, that last shot of Sister Ruth opening that door.
Oh, I love it.
That's an amazing shot.
Yeah. I want a frame of just her crazy red-rimmed eyes hanging on our walls on one day.
She's like a monster at that point.
She is not Ruth. She is now whatever she is, yeah. G, can I come to you? What did you think of the film?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite character?
Maybe Sister Clodagh, because we're with her like the whole movie, and I liked her.
That's fair. What did you think of Sister Clodagh? Did you like her because she seemed like a good person, or did you like her because even though she's a nun, there is pieces of humanity and flaws about her? We can talk about that a little bit more, but what is it about Clodagh that you liked?
I mean, whenever I really watch something or read something, it's usually I grow fond of the character you're with the most. For the most part, sometimes some cases that's not true, but I do think that she was an interesting character because, like you said, even though she was a nun, once they reach Mopu, I think it's called,
right? You
could see her faith is shaken a little bit.
Yes,
I thought that was interesting. Agreed.
What did you think about her? I mean, it's not a big part of the story, and we get these fleeting glimpses of what her life was before she came into this order. What did you think of Clodagh back then?
She was really cute. You could tell she looks a lot more, well, obviously she's younger than in present times when she's in the order, but she even looks more childish maybe.
Mm-hmm.
She's a lot more happy and smiley.
Thank you for saying that. I was going to just ask you, do you think that she is happier in her previous life or in her current life?
I mean, just based off appearance, her previous life, she's just laughing. She's with this guy that she seems to be in love with.
Mm.
She's with her family in that one scene. She seems close with all of them. In the order, she has her sisters, sure, but she doesn't really have any close bonds with them. It's very mature or business-like, I guess.
Kind of, yeah. I can see that.
She's definitely the boss, and they're her workers. They're not really friends.
Agreed. Do you think that she made this choice to join the order to sort of out of pride to not be?
Yeah, that was another thing. I reflected. She's definitely my favorite character. I thought that was really interesting when she was I had to leave first. When she found out,
right.
So I think it was a bit of a point of pride, or maybe it was shame. She didn't want to be shamed By other people,
or just looked oh, poor you.
Yeah,
she didn't want pity. Right. It's interesting. So I've seen this film many times, not as many times as I've seen Overboard, but I've seen this a couple of times, and as I get older, I think I view things differently, or I pick things up differently. I remember the first time I saw this at the beginning when the Mother Superior asked for Sister Clodagh to come see her about the mission to Mopu. I was like, the Mother Superior is kind of a bitch. And then she
Oh
has
God, yeah, she's like got that sour face.
Right. And then she has that conversation with her about, no, I don't think you're ready. I don't think that you should have been given this. And then she also mentions, because when she tells her that she's also going to be bringing these other sisters, including Ruth, who it seems has been a problem for a while. It's almost like, all right, well, now she's going to be your headache. This is going to be your test to figure out if you can make it. So it's almost like the Mother Superior kind of set her up for failure. But there's also this thing of where she says to her, I forgot, like, obviously the exact lines, but she says to her, well, maybe you can give her some of your self-importance.
Yeah.
So coming back to what G had said before about pride. And so we see that Clodagh is a flawed human being. She's not like the holy man on the side of the mountain who's forsaken everything for spirituality and higher purpose, right? So I think that part is interesting too, because you think of nuns as sort of like these saintly, petite, womanly things. But here you have desire and frustration and all these other things like battling within. I think I really love that part of the story. And also, I think this is one of the first times where, at least to me, I mean, I'm sure we've had other films. I mean, we talk about like The Snake Pit. I just recently saw A Woman Under the Influence for Film Discussion Group. So we talk about the idea of mental illness, but we don't really talk about it. And here, it's sort of like it's present, but we're not really confronting it. I think in the sequence with Sister Ruth and Dean, he's basically like, oh, you know what? Just go back, talk to Sister Clodagh. You'll smooth it out. You'll feel silly in the morning, but you'll work through this. It's almost like, oh, you'll be fine. But is Ruth going to be fine? And I think in that point, you can tell that, oh no, something very, very bad is going to happen. Olive G, can I come to you? Did you have a favorite scene in this film?
Probably when, like, they're fighting on, like, the edge of the cliff, and then
Yeah.
she just falls.
It's a pretty powerful scene, and it's beautifully shot. I think that's one of the other things about this film. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous piece of cinematography. And I came to find out in later years that a lot of the backdrop was painted, which doesn't seem real, but I think as I grow older and I'm watching it with more experienced eyes, it's more noticeable, but still done in such a way where it blends in with the actual stuff. This is not shot anywhere near the Himalayas. This was actually shot in England, all in England. Did you have a favorite character, Olive G?
No, not really.
No. Did you like Mr. Dean?
It was kind of annoying for some of the movie.
Yeah,
I guess
why
he had
did
his character arc or whatever.
What'd you find annoying about him?
His clothes. Oh my God, I hated his clothes so much.
What about you? What'd you think of the little tiny pony actions?
The tiny ponies were ridiculous, especially like Dean is the largest person in the entire movie, and he is riding on the back of this
His
minuscule
feet are dragging.
little Sebastian-looking thing. His feet are literally dragging. It's the pony should be riding him. And then on top of that, it's like he's auditioning for Peter Pan.
Yes.
He's got the little short shorts on and the goofy hat with the
Yes.
feathers sticking
and
out
he
of it.
stands like kind of.
Yeah, he's just this big, sweaty, hairy Englishman. And it got, the pipe, everything. And sometimes he kind of took me out of the scene just because I was just like, come on, man. What the hell are you wearing?
Yeah. I could see it. He was like my least favorite character.
Yeah.
But,
and then you think, okay, he's changing it up a bit. He's wearing pants. He's got the scene where he's wearing the big furry coat.
Yes.
And then the next time you see him, it's like he runs up to the monastery and he didn't even bother putting his shirt on.
No, just the shorts and a hat. He
Yeah.
always made sure to cover his head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gee, really quickly.
At least he had the decency to cover his nipples.
He wouldn't even do that. Not in that scene anyway.
But he was like covering his crossing his arms over his chest.
I guess he was a little bit modest. Maybe he realized at the last minute, like, oh, maybe I should have worn a shirt. Gee, it's not a big part of the story, but what did you think of the story of the young general in Kanchi?
I kind of expected it.
Mm-hmm.
Once they were both there, I was like, oh, they're gonna
Wind up
there.
together. Did you feel bad for Conchi at all?
Yeah, a little bit. She's just sort of foisted onto the nuns. Like, nobody cares about her. Nobody wants her.
Mm-hmm.
I did feel a little bad for her.
Yeah. And plus, yeah, I think if you're born in this society, in this culture, your window of opportunity is very small. I think back in the day, you could do a lot with education. I don't know if that's the case now, but I'm assuming they don't talk about her parents, but they said her uncle would marry her off. So I'm assuming she's like an orphan that's just been passed around. And so she does have a blood relative who obviously doesn't want to deal with her. So he's going to allow Dean to bring her up to the convent for a better situation. What did you think of the scene with Aya when she's like hitting her for stealing the brass chain?
Figured it's kind of accurate to how things were. Everyone was getting beat up back then.
I have not read the book, so I do not know. And it's kind of open-ended because you really don't know if she took the chain or not. I have to be honest. I think the first time I saw it, I assumed she was innocent and that...
I thought Ruth took it.
That's exactly who I thought took it.
Yeah, I mean,
to
she
kind of
was
go with her
already-
dress.
Exactly. I thought she had a little, like, necklace, and that's what happened.
Yeah. And I forgot to watch her neck when she's in the burgundy dress, but it's funny because that was my initial thought. Like, I always felt like Conchi was innocent.
Well, no, because Aya says you took it and you wore it. She was wearing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah, didn't
Conchi-
the
Conchi
general put
took
it
it.
around her neck, actually?
No, that he put one of his own
own-
things around
right.
her.
Oh, really?
But she totally took the thing. I think initially when they said, "Oh, this is missing," I too thought maybe it was Ruth, but then they just said it was Conchi, and they said that she was wearing it.
Okay, so thank you for bringing that up. Yes, I remember that now on our watch. But so much like G, I think the first few times I saw this, I assumed it was Ruth. In latter years, my thought did change, and I thought maybe it was Conchi. But I also felt like it's kind of interesting. I think I've had this conversation with you about how being raised Hispanic Latin with Ecuadorian parents, there was like this caste system within the culture. This Spanish is much better than this Spanish, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's not even just Ecuadorian. That's
No.
the Spanish culture in general.
Fair enough. But I think here too, again, my interpretation was that Aya figured that she was above Conchi, and I wondered if she...
Wait, was Aya supposed to be from that region? I thought she was just some English lady who was there.
I think she was from that region. I think that she was there when the grandfather had his harem in the house.
Yeah,
She had always been...
She's been around there, but I thought she was a European that was living there, and
Why would she have that name if she was European?
Yeah, I don't think she
what
was.
was her? I mean,
Anguaya.
Yeah.
wow, they did some bad casting there because she
looks European.
she looked like she looked like a fat version of the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't read the book, so I can't really speak as an expert here, but yes, I believe that she was from the region. She was also probably, her entire lineage was probably a slave to this family. And so it was now her responsibility to care for the house. And I thought it was interesting that even when the house stood empty, she stayed there like a good soldier. And she was almost reminiscent of the old days. She seemed to long for that.
She was like excited when the general told her
that women were coming until he told her what kind of women were coming.
Yeah.
And she's just dancing around. She's not really taking care of the place, but she's definitely happy to be there.
Yes. I don't know if anybody else caught this at the beginning. I always thought that, and again, interpretation, Aya sort of lived with the ghosts of the house. So I have never read the book, so I cannot speak expertly here. But as a viewer, as a film viewer, obviously you're going to bring your own experiences and interpretations to things. I always felt like there was this sort of supernatural element to the story, and I felt like the ghosts that lived in the house sort of made everyone crazy. And this is why people all of a sudden, you hear Sister Philippa, you see it with Sister Clodagh reminiscing about a different time in their life. And so I felt like the ghosts there moved people to the point of like pleasure and pleasant times and like total happiness.
Yeah,
And
it
not
seems
to
to
say-
make it Yeah, it felt like it made those people long for their happier pasts and want to go back to them.
Yes. And so
Like
I wondered.
it was using that to get rid of them.
Yes. And I wondered if this was sort of like a test to their faith, because these women are nuns. So you have a different expectation of nuns. And so, but they're also human and they all have an origin story. However, they came to their spiritual life to become a nun. There was a life before that, before the convent.
And another thing, the only one that you really get the flashbacks for is Sister Clodagh.
Right.
And you only see happy flashbacks.
Right.
Like apparently that relationship ended. You don't know why. You don't know how.
And she talks about it very briefly to Dean.
Talks about it very briefly, and somehow it ended in such a way that she was just like, well, I'm just going to be a nun.
Right. Right.
So it must have been terrible, but as far as her memories go, it's just, oh, this is the time when we were fishing, and now he's giving me some sort of
Brooch or something.
little brooch or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, and here's my parents talking about how
When I get
we're gonna
married.
get married, and then I'll wear these beautiful emeralds. Yeah, there was never anything like the breakup scene.
No. And she was gorgeous and young. I'm sure she could have bounced back, found another suitor,
Yeah.
had another affair, or not affair, but another relationship, and ultimately been married. But kind of to G's point, I felt like she was very proud and stubborn and didn't want anyone's pity, so she had to get out first. So I thought that was what you bring to the story and what you think is happening in the story. I love that part of this film watch experience as well. I think that's another thing that propels this film more than even Red Shoes, because there's so much not divulged.
Yeah, they definitely leave things up to interpretation.
For sure.
If there was anything I would like, I like the movie, but the Conchi Prince story,
Wasn't
I
necessary.
felt like it was an aside that kind of distracted from the rest. I really don't understand what was the purpose of that in the overall
It might have been in
plot.
the book, maybe.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
seemed sort of like a
on.
strange little sort of B story.
Yeah, fair enough. Olive G, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this film?
7.
A 7. Gigi,
I'll give it an 8.
an 8. What say you?
I too would give it an 8.
Okay, I'm going to go and give it an 8.5 because, again, this is my favorite Powell and Pressburger film. This is the one that's probably stayed with me the most. I think this is the story that I find the most compelling just because there's just so much here that it really warrants you as an audience participant to really participate in the movie watching experience. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? When we see Aya in the beginning, you hear this like weird soundtrack in the back. Are those the ghosts that are still inhabiting these walls? The only person that seemed to kind of go with the flow and was fine seemed like Sister Brienne. Everybody else was impacted by living here. Sister Ruth, Sister Clodagh, Sister Honey, Sister Philippa, all of them seemed to somehow be impacted in some way by living in this place. The only person who I felt like truly just was go with the flow was Sister Brienne.
I mean, there's a little bit in the beginning when she talks to Clodagh at night, but yeah, other than that, she seemed to be the least impacted.
Yeah, but
She
even when
was
she's,
strong.
no, you're right. Yeah, she says there's something about this place. She feels it, but it doesn't seem to really
Doesn't impact her as greatly as it
as
impacts
the others,
everybody
right?
else.
There's that sequence later on where I guess Clodagh's turning down the lights and she goes through, she hears some person praying, she hears another person weeping, she hears another person snoring. I'm assuming the snoring was Brienne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Well, I mean, even Mother Superior was like, you'll need her strength.
right.
Like she was just labeled the strong one. And she was also the one who is, when the baby was basically
Dying.
dying, she was the one who was just like, yeah, just bring her home.
Yeah, let her rest.
She wasn't like Sister Honey was just losing her mind and made things worse. But Brienne was just, this is the way it is.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's it.
All right. Before we wrap it up, I'd love to encourage everyone again to like, share, and follow us for more reviews. And also, I would love to dedicate this episode of the podcast to my BFF. Happy belated birthday, Lenny. This drama-filled story reminds me of us, and I love having you on my journey, and you are a rock and truly, truly one of my most favorite people on the planet. Thank you for keeping me sane. Thank you for making me laugh. Thank you for being with me in good and bad times. And I don't deserve you, but I'm so lucky to have you. Thank you so much. I love you. Talk to you soon. And with that, we'll wrap it up and bid you all a
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
good night.